So if you're in the AI space at all, you've definitely heard the name Hugging Face thrown around. But what is it, really? We're going to get into it because it's so much more than just a website. Think of it like the capital city for the entire AI revolution that's happening right now. This is literally the first thing you see on their site. And it's not just some marketing slogan, it's really the DNA of the whole platform. It's all about working together, making things open for everyone, and, well, building the future as a community. All right, so to really get a handle on this, we're going to take a quick tour. We'll break down what it is, what's on it, the tools people use, who's actually using it, how they make money, and, the big one, why this whole thing is such a big deal for AI. Okay, first stop on our tour. Let's get the big idea down. The best way to think about Hugging Face isn't as a static website you just visit. Nope, it's more like a living, breathing ecosystem. And here's the key, right? It's basically become the town square for all of machine learning. It's the library, it's the workshop, and it's the art gallery, all rolled into one place. It's where everyone, from solo devs to huge companies, comes to share their work so other people can use it, learn from it, and even make it better. All right, let's move on. Because a community like this, well, it needs stuff to share, right? And Hugging Face is really built on 3 gigantic pillars of content. And I'm not kidding, these are the foundation for pretty much everything going on in open source AI right now. And the scale here, it's honestly kind of mind-blowing. The numbers we're about to look at, they're not just big numbers. They really show this massive collective effort from people all over the world. First up, the models. We're talking over 1 million of them. 1 million! Just think of each one as a pre-trained AI brain, all set to do things like understand text or generate images. Having this huge library totally open for anyone to use, it just completely changes the game. It makes it so much easier for anyone to start building really powerful AI stuff. Then you've got the applications. They call them spaces. And there are over 400,000. And these aren't just boring lines of code. No, they are live interactive demos. It's like this giant, constantly changing museum of innovation where you can actually go in and play around with the latest AI and see what it can do for yourself. And finally, what fuels all of this? The data. We're talking about 250,000 datasets. This is the raw material, all the text, the images, the audio that's used to actually train these AIs. Getting good data is usually a huge pain point in AI, a real bottleneck. Hugging Face just blows that wide open for everybody. Okay, so we've seen the what, the models, the datasets. Now let's talk about the how. How do people actually use all this stuff? Well, Hugging Face also gives everyone the tools, the digital toolkit, the wrenches, the screwdrivers, to actually build things. And let me be clear, these are not just little helper scripts. We're talking about the absolute bedrock, the fundamental building blocks that a massive part of the machine learning community depends on, every single day. So, take a look at these numbers, specifically the GitHub stars. In the coding world, a star is like a huge thumbs up. It's a vote of confidence, a sign of trust. And when you see their Transformers library has almost 150,000 stars, well, that's not just popular, that's the industry standard. It's what everyone uses for large language models. So who's actually in this city? Who's using all this? The short answer? Pretty much anyone and everyone who's doing anything serious in AI. Get this, over 50,000 organizations. That is a huge number. And it tells you right away, this isn't just a playground for hobbyists. It's become the go-to infrastructure for startups, for research labs, for universities, and yeah, as you're about to see, for some of the biggest companies in the world. And wow, this slide really says it all, doesn't it? I mean, when you see Google, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, when you see these giants not just using the platform, but actively contributing back to it, that's when you know this is the place. This is the hub where the whole industry comes together. Okay, so this all sounds amazing, but you might be wondering, how does this all work? How do they keep the lights on when they're giving so much away for free? Well, that's a great question, and it brings us to how they support the pros, the people doing this for a living. It's actually a pretty classic freemium model. The basic community plan is totally free, and honestly, it's super generous. You get unlimited public hosting for your stuff. But then for professional teams, they have a paid enterprise plan, and that's where you get the things businesses absolutely need, like extra security, privacy controls, special support, that kind of thing. And that's it. That's how they make the money to keep this incredible open source ecosystem running for everyone. All right, let's zoom out for a second. We finished our little tour, so what's the big takeaway here? What does this all mean, and why is Hugging Face so incredibly important? It really comes down to a few key things. First, it brings everyone together in one place, which stops the AI world from just breaking into a million little pieces. Second, it just speeds up innovation like crazy, because everyone has access to the same amazing free tools. It also creates this bridge between, university researchers and people building products in the industry. But maybe the most important thing is that it makes AI accessible to everyone. It democratizes it. It takes this powerful tech that used to be hidden away in a few corporate labs and puts it in the hands of anyone with a laptop and an idea. And that brings us to a really big question to leave you with. When you put it all together, the models, the data, the tools, and this massive global community, you start to wonder, is this just a hub? Or are we actually watching the creation of this central operating system for the future of AI? It's a pretty wild thought, isn't it?